Damn, how's that for timing? With that song ending right there. That's pretty amazing, I think. It's pretty incredible. I think we did good. Especially for such a casual afternoon. How is it going, everybody? My name is Endeavorance. It is Thursday, September 28th. Hell yes, I'm amazing. September 28th. I know what day it is. Isn't that incredible? And also a year. There's a year in there somewhere. And the date, I checked, and there's a year, which is good. So that's great. Congratulations to so Sinister Mind was the first person to chat, but Enric the Man was the first person to redeem first. So congratulations. I'm gonna say hi to everybody now, and hello to everybody who's watching on TikTok as well. Sinister Mind, Enric the Man, hello. L Vibes, hello. ABC Mafia, how is it going? Between the Echoes, hello. Milo, hello. London Fane, hello world. London Faye, hello world. Welcome to chat. I'm very glad you are here. Sky11TK, what is up? Dog Red 99, holes to you as well. Laggy Bait, hello. Checking on anybody else there. J Subnium, what's going on? And over on TikTok, hello to everybody there. Buggy, hey to you as well. Blue Wizard, hello. Static, hello. Thank you for the 20 roses. Thank you so much. And just for that, here's a gift from me to you. I hope it's worth it. I didn't know that he was upside down right now. I didn't have eyes in the back of my head. But it's the best possible thing. How's it going, bud? What you up to? Is there a problem? He's like, oh no. No, I look away from the camera. He realized that he was on camera, exposing himself, so just flaunting himself. And he's like, now I'm embarrassed. Now I won't even look. I'm not even gonna look at the camera. Hey, Flynn. Hey, Flynn. Hello. Who's your good boy? Someone just followed, Flynn. Hey, Flynn. Max66 just followed on Twitch. Isn't that great? Hey, Flynn. If that's great, be a dog. Okay, that sounds like it's great to me then. So that's really good. Enric the Man says, I am doing great. Thanks, Dev. Love your stuff and wanted to tell you I have white jasmine tea. Oh, that sounds incredible. Oh, that's amazing. I'm still just having some very basic black tea. It's not anything special. I'm looking into getting some interesting teas though, and I want to get some like fancy steepers. I used to have all sorts of tea paraphernalia, and I got rid of it all. I don't know why, but I did, and now I need to go get it all back. But I might just start with that. Have you seen those things where it's like a tiny teapot that is like, it sits, you steep the stuff in it, and then when it's ready, you put it on top of a mug and it drains out into the mug? That seems like what I'm probably gonna go for, at least for now, because I don't feel like doing with, I had a whole teapot set for a while, and it's just like a little too much. But just something to like steep and then pour into the mug, that sounds good. I can hydrate. That's for you, Max. But I can also hydrate with tea. I do have my tea. I do have it in the polar bear mug. So that's really, really good. And very cozy. Just deeply cozy. So. I rubbed my dog's belly, but stuff still happened. If only rubbing his belly would stop stuff from happening. I do that literally constantly. So I can consult the vibe cube. Let's see where we're at. Blue. The vibes are blue on this chill afternoon. That's not a bad place to be, honestly. I've had worse vibes. I've had worse afternoon vibes. I want to tell you all that there's a problem. And the problem is that I started playing Palia, and that game is going to ruin me. That game is going to be my downfall. That game is going to just destroy me. And I'm very sorry to tell you that this is the end. It was a good ride. It was nice while it lasted. I'm glad that you were all here. This is going to be the last time you'll ever see me, because all I'm going to do for the rest of my life is play Palia. And I I want to make content for you. I want to stream. I want to breathe. I want to eat food. I want to pet my dog. But all of those are going to have to be put aside because what I need to do right now is farm some crops. I need to talk to some NPCs, build up relationships. So, you know. It was nice while it lasted, the whole having a life and having a career thing, but it's too bad. It's too bad. It's just gonna be good. It's just gonna be gone. It's just gonna be gone forever. Nah, I'm gonna try to control myself, but it's been fun. I've been getting onboarded by a nice group of folks, and it's all I keep thinking is like, oh my god, this is just all of the elements from all of the games that I like to play, but just combined into one, and it's just gonna be a problem. Endeavor, like the anime guy, you have the hair and everything. I don't have the hair, is the thing. Also, what anime is that? I've heard people like reference an anime with regards to my name before, and I'm not cultured enough to know. Do all of those things pale in comparison to Palia? Painful. You hurt me with your words. You strike at my heart with your words. And I'm sad and dying. Neurospicy Savvy, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the cat paws. Thank you for the Fey Wisp. Oh, damn, I love a good Fey Wisp. And thank you for the golden trumpet. Toot toot. Oh, is he bald? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm a clean-shaven boy. I maintain, if you are even remotely of the mind that you might shave your head sometime, just do it. It's so good. Like, so many things that you would otherwise have to care about just disappear. It rules. My Hero Academia, is that the anime? I'm aware of that anime, but I know nothing about it. Jet says, I'm enjoying some homemade cheese garlic bread with some Arizona tea. Well, damn, that sounds like a vibe and a half. You've really got something going there. Damn. Austin Jane says, I have a lumpy head. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Here's what you do. Shave your head and wear a bald cap? No, you're probably fine. I make bread as a hobby. I want bread. I've been considering getting a bread maker because those things look rad. You just like throw some ingredients in them and then bread comes out later and you don't have to really pay attention to it. It's pretty dope. What's good, gang? Hello, Ethan. Bread is so good, TBH. J7M, I very much agree. Bread machines are amazing. Do I need to get like a fancy bread machine? Got it on Craigslist for $40. Okay. Like, is there a difference or do I just need to get a bread machine? Because I just want bread. I just want to dump ingredients into machine and then zone out for 4 hours and then have a sando. That would be great. Sheba King says, what should I eat as my last meal in California? So when you say last meal, do you mean you're leaving California soon? Or you're about to be executed? Wait, look who just subscribed. In the state of California. And they're asking you what you want for your last meal. Because very different answers based on the situation. I'm hoping you're not about to be executed. But it is pretty rad that they would give you access to a phone and internet to watch my stream. And I'm honored that you'd be watching my stream this close to that. So, you know. I am Jaden Stress. Thank you so much for the sub. That is 4 months. God dang. Let me go get you on the board real quick. Jaden on the board. I have decided. Oh my god, that's not a Y. There we go. Got you on the board. I've made an executive decision to stop naming the chalkboards because I'm running out of name ideas, and also it takes up room on the board, and I already have very little room on the board. So this will make it a little easier for your boy, and also give me a bit more room to write your names. So that's good. We like that. My mom bought a bread maker from the Evil Bald Man website for like $60. The bread smacks. Hell yeah. It's almost the month where I make a lot of pumpkin bread. Yo, I love, what are those called? Quick breads? Like, or they're not shortbread. Shortbread's its own thing. But like pumpkin bread, zucchini bread. Oh, zucchini bread, my beloved. Quick breads? Okay, yeah, like banana bread. Oh God, it's just so good. I will fuck up like some cinnamon zucchini bread with like peanut butter on it or like almond butter on it. That is just divine. There's something nice about it. Just the simplicity is what does it for me. Is there a potato bread? I currently have too many potatoes. I'm pretty sure potato bread is a thing, right? We've got a rune redemption. Sweet Hawaiian bread. Yes, yes, yes. All right. L Vibes wants to know, how will things go? Let's find out. Let's ask the runes. I really need to get a bag instead of a box. So I've got this set of runes again. Here's what they look like. It's pretty sick. This is from Moon Street Kits. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure that you're following her on TikTok. She's incredible. So let's see. How will things go? Your rune is that. You don't know what that's called, but let's find out. It is. It stands for nature, wrath, and being tested. So, I mean, we did just have a lot of hurricanes. Is there more hurricanes coming or something? Nature's wrath is going to test us. Just keep your head on a swivel, everyone. Stay frosty. Climate change, I suppose. The runes are telling us climate change is happening. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't get attacked by any like, you know, eagles or hawks. I saw a bunch of hawks recently. When I was out on my trip this past weekend, there was just a million hawks everywhere. And like, I desperately want to just get one of those hawking gloves and just stand where there's a bunch of hawks and just be like, all right, anybody who wants to land, I've got food for you. Come be my hawk pal. I don't know if that's super illegal or not, but I want a hawk pal. I think it would be a great addition to the household. Look at, like, it could just hang out with the dog, who is currently a cinnamon roll. Are you being a cinnamon roll? Oh, he is whole ass asleep. He is like completely asleep. Like, not even remotely conscious right now. His eyes are twitching. It's very good. Opinions on Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean, it's the taste you can see, so I'm into it. I like to be able to see my taste, you know? So I haven't heard any follow-up from Shiba King about that last meal in California, so I mean, rip, I guess. It was good while it lasted. Pour one out for Shiba King, except don't pour out your tea, because it's tea time. One damn adorable cinnamon roll. I love cinnamon rolls. I mean, like, I love my dog too, but I also love actual cinnamon rolls. I went on like a cinnamon roll kick recently. And that's, of all the kicks that I've been on, that was a top 5 kick, I think. Favorite tea? Honestly, just like a solid jasmine. I'm a jasmine man. A solid jasmine tea is very, very, very good. I also like honey ginger tea and mint. I love mint tea. Cinnamon rolls are bomb. You can make dough in a bread machine for cinnamon rolls? Hey, yo? Okay, but I want a cinnamon roll machine. I want a cinnamon roll machine. Like Uncle Iroh, yeah, definitely. I think Avatar is what like made me aware that jasmine tea existed in the first place, and then I tried it and I was like, wait, this is like my whole shit. This is so good. Hey, Dev and chat, should I make shrimp stir fry or blueberry pancakes, bacon, and sausage for dinner? I'm so torn right now. My answer is going to be blueberry pancakes, bacon, and sausage. I am a large Brinner fan. Like I am a huge fan of Brinner, and any option that you give me, if breakfast food is involved, I'm going to pick the breakfast food. So yes, please go for pancakes. It is foretold. I've done that without a hawk glove, and I regretted it as I was nearly killed by a hawk scissor claws. Yo, ow. That does not sound good. I'm glad that you're okay. An apprentice falconer can start out with no more than one red-tailed hawk or American kestrel, by the way. Well, that's good to know. I don't know what an American kestrel is, but I can find out. American kestrel. Oh, that's a pretty bird. Oh, but it's little. Huh. Let me pull that up for all y'all so we can enjoy this bird together. American kestrel. Look at this bird. Damn. It's a good bird. Solid board. I'd say like 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 bird. That's pretty good. So tiddly. Nice board. Look at the feathers. Damn. And look at the little beak. Look how tiny it is. Look how little. It's just barely got, it's got like an implied beak. Damn, that wingspan though. Look at that. Hey, yo. Oh, it's so pretty. Sometimes I wish I was a bird so I could be pretty and have feathers. And do like cool dances and sing songs. Birds are so romantic. They do dances and sing songs to try to pick up chicks. And like, I just think that's special. I was watching, I don't know, some David Attenborough documentary, and they were showing this like bird that literally brings the squad. Like when they want to go impress a girl bird, these like the boy birds show up in like a group, and they do like they're all like hype men for the main bird, and they do like a coordinated multi-bird dance, and it's so sick. And it's like, yo, they bring the whole squad to show this girl what's up, and I just think that's special. I'm just really happy for the birds, honestly. Become a furry? I should have a fursona. I think that would be good. Mikey JC says, love your content, my friend. Much love to you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Kestrels can be trained to go after invasive species such as starlings. Well, damn. Birds are natural flash mob organizers. Very good. Hello, Flint Masters. Sky11TK says, hey, yo, just had a helicopter fly over my work. I get a lot of helicopters, like all the time. There's I think like a hospital with like a medevac pad kind of near me. I'm also near like 8 Air Force bases. And so they're just like constantly going over my house being like, hey, we're just gonna hover a helicopter just above you for a while. If you could just deal with that. It is not rare that a freaking like formation of fighter jets goes over my house and like shakes my house. Very annoying. Neurospicy says, Savvy says, catch you later. Love your content. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. We've been getting an increase in low-flying fast jets. The airport's response is not happening. Like they're like denying that it's happening. Oofa. I've once been like trying to fall asleep and was woken up by what I thought was an earthquake, and it was actually a jet that went like directly over my house. It was so loud. I was afraid it was gonna break out a window. There was a town where they were testing supersonic flight, and so it was an airport in town where a supersonic passenger plane would take off, and they were doing tests, and it would be like going like 24 hours basically, and when you go supersonic, it makes a sonic boom, which is loud. And it like started to make people lose their minds, and like there was outrage and shit, and they had to stop it. But like they were essentially, I'm pretty sure they were just like testing if humans can deal with having that loud boom all the time, so that we can make people go faster. And I'm pretty sure the answer is very much no. My Rodent Dupre says hi, hello to you as well, and happy spinnies. There's jets going over my house. Airport control. Nuh-uh. Uno reverse card. Hello. Shiba King, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate it. Very much so. Fast people go boom. I mean, it's the same thing with like, I'm going to try my absolute best to not just do political rants this whole time. But it's like the same thing with the self-driving cars and truck stuff I talked about recently. Like, they're really pushing how much people are willing to like accept. People are just not into the idea of giant autonomous trucks on public roads when like we're aware that it's just not safe yet, but they want to do it anyway because it's much cheaper to have a robot that constantly is driving rather than paying a human being that has to sleep and eat sometimes. And so they're pushing regardless. And it's just... Jinx Nix, thank you so much for the subscribe. 4 months. That's incredible. Let me get you on the board. Get you on the board. Praise! I'm an airplane. AI can't even stop putting hair on my face in AI art. It assumes that my gender every time, and we think we're gonna stop a car 100% of the time for people. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. Like, there are situations in which an autonomous truck is probably going to have a better safety record than a human would, specifically on like very long haul, very straight, well-kept roads. But like, that is not most roads. And like, especially last mile stuff and backcountry stuff and mountain driving stuff. Like, if you've ever driven in like the Smoky Mountains, there are trucks that traverse the most like tenuous paths that have to do ridiculous maneuvering to actually get through those mountain passes. And it's horrifying, especially when there's other cars like happening. Like, you have to, like, other cars need to like essentially make eye contact with the truck driver and be aware of each other. And there's just a 0% chance that an autonomous system would be able to do that. And I've seen a bunch of truck drivers in the comments of that video saying like, yeah, I am not worried because of that reason. Like, it's a highly skilled thing that you can't deal with remote control because the lag would be too much. You have to have total precision. And you have to have like a really solid understanding of your vehicle and your payload and everything. And to recreate that is going to take so long. And like, if you're going to only have autonomous trucks for long straight hauls, use a fucking train, you know? Like, it's just so unnecessary. God, what a calming track. Self-driving cars have no idea what to do when there's emergency vehicles. Yeah. And they also have no idea what to do if you put a cone on the front of them. People are disabling self-driving cars by putting traffic cones on the hoods. It's really funny. They just freak out. Like, what happens if a deer runs in front of the truck and it, you know, gets hit and destroys the truck sensors and whatever? Got to give the workers rights first, yeah. Got to have halfway capable railways. Kind of off topic, someone who drives an ordinary car like a Honda Civic and someone who drives a hugely boated pickup like an F-250 shouldn't have the same license? Probably. Probably. I mean, I have a lot of opinions about cars and driving in the first place. John Chair says, "Hey bro, I always look forward to your videos every morning. Thanks." I really appreciate that. I'm glad. I know that feeling of having like something to look forward to in a morning ritual, and I'm flattered to hear that I'm part of your ritual. Thank you so much. Yeah, people are terrible at driving. People are awful at driving, like so bad. And like literally yesterday, I was just driving to go or not yesterday, 2 days ago, I was driving to go pick up my car from the shop, and I was driving a rental back to the shop. And it's like, I'm driving a rental. I really don't want to get a single ding on the rental car because they'll extort me for as much money as possible. And I was on my way, just like in my neighborhood, trying to get to the highway to get to the dealership. And it was like 9 a.m. and there was a drunk driver in this like 2-lane road in the area that I was in, and they were swerving all over the place. They were driving with their left turn signal on in the left lane with no turns coming up. They then changed to the right lane very swervily, and they turned their right turn signal on to do that, which is, you know, good for them. And then they left their right turn signal on in the right lane for miles, and just swerved and just dangerous. And like, I'm just trying to get safely away from them. I passed them and then they were behind me, and I'm just sitting there like watching them, trying to make sure that if like need be, I can swerve out of the way if they're going to accelerate and crash into me. And it was just like, that was like the 8th drunk driver in the course of like 4 days of a bunch of driving for me. And it's just a lot. It's just gotten so bad. Like on my drive back from my trip recently, in just a 2-hour drive, I encountered 3 different people who were driving directly in front of me who just were driving with their turn signal left on because they forgot to turn it off. And it's like, what are you doing that you can't tell that your turn signal is still on? I don't understand it. I guess you're blasting music and can't hear, but like, when I'm driving, I am hyper aware of like every facet of what I'm doing with this incredibly dangerous piece of heavy machinery going 70, 80 miles an hour with me inside. So it's like, if I am manipulating my turn signals, I'm very thoughtful about if it's on or off and what it implies to the people who are driving around me, such that I can like try to maintain a safe zone around me. It's madness how bad people are at driving, and yet everybody drives. Like, have you met the average person? The average person is allowed to drive. That's terrifying. It amazes me how little people pay attention when driving. I'm mad about the amount of people that I'm seeing still on their phones in the year of our Lord 2023 while driving. I just the other day, same drive to that same dealership. Before the drunk driver was a dude who was texting, and he was doing the classic, like you could see him like look down and then look up and look down while he's actively driving. And he's going like 15 miles under the speed limit. And it's like, you very clearly think that you can do both of these at the same time. And you very clearly cannot do both of these at the same time. So just fucking pull over or stop texting. It's gonna be okay. Fallen Star says, your voice is so comforting. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Consult the vibe cube. I can do that. Still blue. We remain blue. Dabba D and Dabba Die. So, you know, act accordingly. I watched a teacher from my school drive with their phone. That's disappointing. I've heard a lot more people are driving under the influence, whether drugs, alcohol, or tech. Yeah, I mean, driving while paying attention to your phone is like just as bad as like drunk driving. But like, the amount of people that I have talked to who think it's totally cool and chill to drive while high on like cannabis is shocking to me. I get people who are like, nah, it makes me drive better. Like, I don't believe you, and you're not gonna say anything that makes me believe you, because like, someone could also just tell me that driving drunk makes them drive better, and I don't believe you. It's just like, people are so flippant about it, and like I'm super pro cannabis. Like I use it all the time for like medicinal purposes, but I don't drive when I use it. And like, no. Bjorn Lucas, what makes people drive better? I just got here. People claiming that that like being high on weed makes them drive better, or like that they're totally okay to drive when they're high on weed. Like, just don't drive. Like, just
hey, yo, what? Wait,
take a bus,
just subscribed,
or a cab, or something. It just, I already am like in danger. Like when you go on the road, it's such an incredibly dangerous mode of transportation, and doing anything to like add to that danger just makes me really upset. Like, it's already so ridiculously dangerous. Buff Panda, thank you for the sub. 5 months. 5 months subscribed to my favorite content creator. That is so, I am honored. Thank you so much. Let me get you on the board. Buff Panda. I'm gonna run out of entrances, but Buff Panda. Look at your little box. Which I think is pretty good. It's a warning on a lot of other meds. Yeah, I took like I took Ambien for a little bit because I had like really horrible insomnia, and I didn't sleep for like 4 or 5 days. And my doctor was like, you need to sleep. And yeah, if you take Ambien, it's like, do not even look at a car. Like, don't even think about the idea of driving. don't even play Mario Kart because it's too dangerous. And like, yeah, a lot of
hello.
I mean, there's just like a lot of conditions. Like if you've got epilepsy, like you're not really supposed to drive. There's a lot of reasons that people shouldn't drive, and it's why like the over reliance on cars is so freaking dangerous. Because like you basically, unless you are specifically in a city with halfway decent public transit or that you can walk in, you essentially have to have a car if you live in America. And it's so shitty because there's a lot of people who, for whatever reason, can't or very much would prefer not to use a car. And like I live again in like a major metropolitan area, and so like it's very nice. Like I could potentially not have a car, and I have one because I live more like in a suburb around it. And I frequently like drive on highways to go visit like my parents and whatever else. I would love to not have a car though. I would love to be able to live a life where I don't have a need for it, period. But that's just not the case. If I could just take a solid bus or train to my parents' place, that'd be sick. I had an ex whose uncle would do lines while driving. I'd literally wait till he got home. Wow. Wow. That's horrifying. Oh my god. Yeah, people are very bad at with like overestimating their ability to do anything. People think they're really good at things. People are not really good at things. I'm the only good driver, but I'm really good at it. But everybody else, terrible. I got an e-bike, Camgirl Ren. Hell yeah. E-bikes are awesome. I also got an e-bike. I mean, the same time that a lot of people did, like at the start of the pandemic. It rules. There's a lot of hills around me, and there's a lot of stuff that is absolutely in biking distance. But with the hills included, it's in like super hardcore exercise biking distance, not casual head over to the store, pick up some coffee biking distance. But with an e-bike, I can dominate those hills, no problem. It's like going up like a ridiculously steep hill is like riding on flat land with an e-bike. It's awesome. It's so cool. So I got a pretty decent like utility e-bike with some bags on the sides and whatnot, so I can like go pick up groceries. There's a really great coffee shop down the way from me, so that's nice. Biking on easy mode. Yeah. I mean, like, I like the idea of like being a cool bike boy and like getting a workout from biking, but I much more like the idea of being able to access the things I want to access with the freedom of having a bike, without getting there completely sweaty. And if I really want to, I can just kick it into high gear and like really go quickly. But I can walk everywhere locally, but I live in Phoenix, so I would like to not spontaneously combust. That's so funny. The number of older people that have tried mine out and find mobility. Yeah, like I was like suggesting to my mother, who's not like super old. She's just like middle-aged woman, to consider an e-bike, because like she also has like some issues with knees. Like every older adult has issues with knees, and it's just like, yeah, if you want some like mobility and you want some like, you know, interesting mode of transportation that's like nicer and a little bit feels pretty freeing. Like there's something about biking that feels a lot more freeing than being in a car. I think it's just the fact that like you don't have to like find a parking lot and whatnot. You can just like get off your bike. The concept of grabbing a bus or a cab is so foreign to me, having grown up rural. Yeah, no, I feel that. I didn't even grow up all that rural, and I like never took the bus. But light rail, I'm super here for. I like that. I've also been taking the train more whenever I can. But, I mean, the train system in America is very bleh. Cryptid Waifu, hello. Welcome back to the chat. Good to see you. Bjorn Lucas says I need to get a bike. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good options out there right now. I got a, let me show you the one that I got. I got a, oh, we got the bird back. Let's take a look at the bird while I try to remember. I got a, it's by Specialized Cuomo? Like Andrew, oh, Cuomo. Not Cuomo. That's the, Cuomo is the politician. Yeah. I got this guy. Or something to this effect. I got like an older version of this. Which is pretty sick. Yeah, a 90-mile range. That's pretty wild. And it's like super comfortable. This is not the model that I have. I got a Como 3, I think. Specialized Como 3? Yes. This is the one that I have. But I have a really cool seat. I got a seat called The Cup. And it just basically, it's like sitting on a, it's just like sitting in a big cup. It rules. They don't even have the option here. It's bullshit. Ooh, they've got different colors. Oh, look at these colors. Damn. That's neat. Yeah, unfortunately, e-bikes are a little expensive, which is a huge bummer. Biking outside allows me to feel the vitamin D transform into serotonin almost instantly. It's a good combination. Some warm sunlight and a breeze in your face. There's something to it. There's something to the whole feeling like a human being.
Hello.
That seems nice. Mieli Boo. I found you on Twitch, but stuff keeps happening. Well, thank you for the follow, as well as Treywick. Thank you for the follow. Sky11TK, you cheered earlier, and I'm very sorry I didn't say thank you, but thank you. Thank you so much. Imagine having a body that properly creates serotonin. I'm so jealous. I mean, if it helps, I just recently had to up my Zoloft dosage, so, you know. If that... I use store-bought serotonin, but that's okay. Any nice mods you're gonna make to the car or to the bike? I pretty much just have the I have the, what are they called? Like the covers over the wheels. What the hell are those? I'm blanking on the word. Somebody help. What are the covers that go over wheels called on a bike? God, this is gonna bug me. It's like a hard plastic cover. Oh no. Bike plastic wheel cover. Fenders. Thank you. Fenders. Yes, fenders. I've got fenders and I've got the like cargo rack on it, and then I got like a couple of things to put like pannier bags on it. And I like those quite a bit. Haven't done much else though. Mine is store-bought Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin ruined me. Wellbutrin was... I tried it for like a half a second and it destroyed me. I wanted to rip my heart out of my chest. It spiked my anxiety so bad. I bounced right back off of it. But I was taking it for ADHD while taking my Zoloft, and I've switched to a different medication and it has been doing wonders. So that's very good. Something that satisfies me the most is getting a perfect golden color of toast. I love a good toast. Does anybody else go through like a phase where just straight up buttered toast is just like immaculate to you? It's like this simple thing is suddenly just the best shit in the world. And I will eat like just a ton of buttered toast and then I'll like bounce off of it again. And like 3 years later, it'll happen. I don't know why, and it's specifically something like buttered toast, where it's like very plain, very basic, but it just starts to hit different for a little while. I don't know if that's depression or if that's just me being weird, but sometimes I just go really hard into buttered toast, and I'm like, this is the only thing keeping me alive right now. What medicine did you switch to? I've now started taking Endeavorance, which is a stimulant-based ADHD medication.
Thanks for the bits.
Hey Dev, what's the word on that poetry? I am getting to it. As I said in the announcement video, I wanted to promise like absolutely no timeline because I just don't have a specific like finalized plan on how I'm going to use the poetry yet. But I'm going to start reaching out to people who've been submitting poetry to double check and get permission before publishing it. I want to build up a list of poems that I've already gotten approval from the authors to publish, and I want to also specifically get any information the authors would like me to include when I do publish it. So I've got a bit of like logistics work to figure out how I want to run all of that, and I'm probably going to start by just including them in my newsletter and in the longer versions of Stuff Keeps Happening that I post on YouTube. Someone suggested doing a playlist on TikTok of reading the poems, and I might do that, but we'll see. It's gonna start off on the YouTube version, for sure. Modafinil? I've never heard of that one. Changed my life for the better. Yeah, I've had now 2 experiences with like mental health medication that were absolutely life-changing. The first was the Zoloft when I was like in the depths of my depression, and the Zoloft like turned me the fuck around. That was wild. Going from like not being able to get myself off of the couch and like I felt like I was dead, right? Like I felt like my life was over. It was bad. And then I started taking some medication and like, oh wow, it's almost like it's medication for the condition that I have. And I started to feel like a person again. And then now with the Endeavorance with ADHD, just like the main thing it's done for me has been removing the barrier in my head, like the executive dysfunction. And so like I'm actually able to do shit now, and it feels so good to be able to like get back to the things that I love doing, like this, and making content and working on new projects, and not feeling like I'm constantly rushing. But I'm also trying to make a couple of changes in general. For example, like not making time commitments necessarily for things that I announced that I'll be doing. Just being like, I have this on my mind. I'll get to it when I get to it. Rampant Cox 715 says your name was way too hard to find on Twitch. I'm mad about that. I'm mad about that. And for anybody who ever wants to try to find my Twitch coming over from TikTok, probably the easiest way to do it is just to click through the link on my bio. I'm mad. Here's why I'm mad. Because on Twitch, twitch.tv/Endeavorance is taken. It was previously just taken, and now it's banned for terms of service abuse. I had nothing to do with that account. It's not my account. Twitch does... It was a taken account that was completely dormant. And Twitch does re-release taken usernames if they've been dormant for long enough. But if a username has been banned for terms of service violations, they will never release it. So I will never be able to get twitch.tv/Endeavorance. And so I have to be twitch.tv/I'm_Endeavorance. I'm just fucked. I could maybe do like a different name that's like Dev Streams or something. But like, yeah, I was hoping to be able to snag /Endeavorance, but I also like contacted support and they just replied with a generic help desk article. So I'm just kind of screwed, which is a bummer, but oh well. Seth says, hey Dev, what's up? How is it going? I hope you're doing very well. Mars says, I hope you have a beautiful day. It's been very nice so far. It's a nice day out. I'm hanging out, having some tea. The dog is here. He's all curled up, being a cinnamon roll right now, being a nice little bun. And I think that's pretty special. My dog's name is Flynn, and he's a very, very, very good boy. And I would rub his belly, but he is currently snoozing. And I don't want to have to wake him up because he doesn't like to be woken up. I mean, who likes to be woken up? Cryptid Waifu Genesis says, I need to make a deal with my husband that he gives me 1 free hour of me time a day at least. I think that's really important. I do. Like alone time is extremely important, and in the post-COVID world especially, being like at home with my partner constantly 24/7, like you need to have some alone time. Like that just you can't just be 100% all the time around your partner. You got to be your own person too, and it's not like a I don't love you thing. It's just like a I need to be alone thing. I'm a pretty introverted dude. I need like my quiet alone time to recharge, and that means quiet alone time. Doggo is bun. Doggo is indeed bun. Sometimes he is a bun. He like sits on his butt and does like a bun sit, and I love it so much. Have you considered a Flynn cam? I have. It's just a matter of actually rigging up a camera. I'm gonna get it like up above here, looking down over the room, so that people can see more of the room and more of the Flynn, which would be very, very good. But I have to actually rig it up, and that's annoying. Bunny's also sploot. I kind of want a bunny. I love rabbits so much. Cootie Queen says, I literally tell my husband, hey, can I have alone time? And he leaves me alone for 3 hours. That's a good boy. You got a good one. You have acquired a good boy. I have 2. It's the best after the dog. Okay, but are they hoppy? Oh, I love hoppy things. I want a hoppy bunny. That's all I want. I just realized there's no way I'm going to get any of my projects done being ADHD and having a 5-year-old. I love her, but every 5 to 10 minutes she asks me for things, and it derails me where I never go back to being on track. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, that's a lot. I understand that it's a lot. My nephew is 4 something, and he is a wild child. There is no way I could have kids. There is just no way. I would lose my mind. I already have so much trouble just existing. Having a child in the mix would be a lot. Used to call that cave time. That's pretty good. I can barely handle myself. Pets get more care than me. I would worry about a small human. I very much agree, Sinister Mind, that I'm in the same boat there. I have a very similar vibe. Yeah, like I don't know. Everyone that I know, a lot of my friends are having kids right now. It's just that age, and every one of them is like, yeah, being a parent is great. And they're like looking at me with their like beleaguered, bloodshot eyes and talking about all the things they can't do anymore and all the things they wish they could do and all the things that they wish they could have done before having a kid. And they're like, but it's great. No, it's great. Trust me. It's wonderful. I swear it's wonderful. And then they like look like they're about to cry. London Faye says, I must make pancakes. Take care of yourself. You're a good boy. Well, thank you so much. And I will do my best to take care of myself. I can hydrate. I'll hydrate for you. Kids are great. I couldn't do any of those things anyway. I mean, I want to be clear. Like, I'm not hating on anybody who likes kids. I don't judge people for having kids. I think that's perfectly chill. I think we need people to have kids. I'm just not one of those people to have kids. I just don't have it in me. I just lack that gene. And I think that's probably okay. The main thing I don't like is the like societal assumption that you will have kids from like everyone, especially like even like medical staff. And it's just like, no, I'm good actually, and I'm sure about that. And everybody talks down to you if you say that. They're like, oh, well, you'll change your mind when you get older. It's like, I've gotten older. I haven't changed my mind. In fact, I'm more certain. You've got Caleb says, I used to be Geek Ledger everywhere, but everybody would pronounce it Geekle Edger and not Geek Ledger. It got awkward after a while. That's a bummer. I had the realization this morning that my name doesn't, like, anybody who's not using American English trying to look up my name is going to put a U in it for Endeavor. And that's probably going to fuck up my SEO a little bit, huh? I've already run into some people being like, I can't spell your name. I'm putting it in. And it's because they put the U in there. The other Bryce says, oh, my partner and I have near daily conversations about how we don't want kids and how we're surprised we can even take care of ourselves and the pets. Yeah, same. It's important to have those conversations. It's important to like evaluate and check yourself, because it's also the case where, like, you know, sometimes you think like, I never want that, but then, you know, you might change your mind. There's no harm in reevaluating, because if you reevaluate and land at the spot exactly where you landed before, then that's just reassuring you that you still feel the same way. But like, never be afraid to reevaluate a part of yourself that you're taking as an assumption. Like, I recently was trying to reevaluate, like, what is my gender and sexuality? And I just landed back to where I already was. But, you know, it's worth asking. It's worth exploring and understanding why and what that means. And all it's going to do is either make you happier because you've learned something new about yourself, or make you happier because you feel more confident about who you are. So, that's good. It's like you're saying how much you love stubbing your toe. Okay, well, maybe don't reevaluate that. I make French toast in a certain way that it makes me look like a gourmet chef. I'll tell you my favorite French toast upgrade that I've discovered from I got brunch at a place recently. By recently, I mean like a year and a half ago. And they put granola in between the layers of their French toast. Holy shit. No one warned me. I can't have French toast any other way now. It's so good. It just adds the littlest bit of crunch and extra just oomph to the French toast. And it like mostly just like it flows really well with like the flavor profile of French toast. So it doesn't like taste out of place. It's just like complementary while making it a heartier meal and tastier. It's sick. Living authentically is such a happiness booster. Yeah. I had a friend make a Facebook announcement that they decided they wanted to spawn children. I've talked about this before. Like, it's really weird when people are like, hey, we're really trying for a kid right now. Like, we're really trying for a kid. Like, we are trying so hard. Every single day, we're trying for a child. Let me tell you about how much we're trying for a child. Just constantly. Just everywhere in our house, we're trying for a child. And it's like, okay, you can stop talking about that now. Like, I'm really happy for you, but it sure does sound like you're just telling me about your breeding kink. And I'm not trying to like yuck your yum. You do that. Have fun. But you don't need to tell me about it. You don't need to loop me in to your kink. It's fine. And it's worse when it's like parents being like, so, are you trying yet? Tell me how you're trying. I'm going to go into the specific details to make sure. Like, what? Like, announcing to your family that you're just raw dogging it every night. Like, cool. I got that at my wedding. Just like, so, when are you going to bone? And it's like, what? Why? In other words, we are banging all the time. Yep. If a couple can't make a child, they should consider it adoption. I had a friend recently who finally, after years of trying to adopt some kids, got picked. Finally got matched with a set of twins. They were looking to specifically adopt newborns, which makes it a lot harder. A lot of people are trying to adopt specifically newborns, and there's not a lot of newborns out there. Or at least they're all claimed. There's a lot more like 5-10-year-old kids who need to be adopted than there are like babies. And they come with a lot of baggage, and people are afraid of that. And afraid of trying to establish a relationship, like a parental relationship with a non-newborn. Not that it's like a cowardly thing to go for adopting newborns, but it's just a very different situation. I'm really thankful that there is increasingly larger swaths of newer generations questioning these societal norms and actually trying to do what is healthiest for them and their communities. Yeah. Like, we've had so much. We are more connected than ever. And we're talking to so many more people, and we're learning from so many more people, and we're learning from different ways of life. Like, look at, I mean, I don't use Snapchat, but like Snapchat has that feature where like it's a world map. And you can like click anywhere in the world and just see what people are posting from there. And it's just like, you can literally just see what's going on anywhere in the world from like an on the ground perspective. And it's like people are seeing like wars and riots and protests and just getting exposure to things they wouldn't have otherwise gotten exposure to. And there's just so much more human experience sharing going around. And I think that's causing people to rethink what is normal and what should be normal. And we're finally starting to get away from some of the like historically really just like negative things that were considered a default requirement for life, like getting married. I'm not saying getting married is a negative thing inherently, but the notion that you by default must get married and have kids is just really toxic. Not everybody wants to or probably should get married and have kids. And that's fine. There are plenty of people that I know that are single and very, very happy being that way. And there's also like aro ace people. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's it's like life is a very personalized thing, and you shouldn't be pushing people, especially from older generations, just don't realize that what they think of as just like the way of life is like their way of life, and by sort of like pushing it onto people and like trying to continue it is essentially just like extending generational trauma. Like, let people make decisions of what they want to do for themselves, you know? Like, why are you pressuring people to have kids immediately at their weddings? Why are you saying that, like, you know, this is how, like, you need to do this if you want to be successful or whatever? And like, the world's just very different now. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff, especially happening in, like, I don't want to say the polyamory space, but like there's a lot more people who are open to the notion of like polyamory, because people are realizing like, oh, it's kind of strange that I can be in love with somebody but have feelings for someone else too. And whereas before, a very like puritanical view of love is that it must be limited to one person, and if you don't limit it to one person, then you are sinning, and that is bad, and you need to feel bad, and then that leads to people like just being sad and having broken ass relationships or cheating. And the other option you have is shed that, realize that there's no law or rule that says you can't love more than one person, and do whatever you and your fellow consenting adults are consenting to, and be happy about it. Seems fine to me. Adoption isn't as easy as people say. It's hard work. I totally support adoption, but I think the discourse around can't have kids, just adopt, when it's not that easy. My sister and her husband have been trying to adopt for years after they had their first bio kid, and they were straight up told they wouldn't be allowed to adopt because, one, the age gap in their relationship, and two, my sister was abused as a child. That blows my mind that they were told that. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Again, my friends who recently adopted were on a waiting list for years, and they are the ideal couple to adopt a child. They will provide a stable home. They are both very intelligent, thoughtful, caring, loving people with a home that is ready to have more occupants and stable jobs that they will be able to provide for the kids. And they care very deeply about raising a compassionate and loving family. They are like the ideal candidates to adopt children who need a stable home. And it took them years and so many hoops to jump through to get there. It is not a simple process. It is incredibly difficult to adopt children. And it's also, like, frankly, really difficult sometimes. Like, again, part of the reason that people want to go for like newborns is so that they can be there for the whole parenting process and experience all that. Because if you haven't done that, it's a lot harder to do so. My aunt fostered and eventually adopted 2 children, who one of whom is still just a disaster, and the other was having problems and I think is kind of getting better, but they both suffered a lot of childhood trauma before they were adopted, and they went through hell in the foster system. And again, my aunt was doing everything she could and is a very good person, but it's just hard. Sometimes sometimes trauma is just too great and you can't do anything. You're not equipped to handle it. Rah, freedom. Now get married. It's really wild to think about how not free America is. People are really weird about that. Like, you know, talking about like freedom and whatever. And like freedom is just like not like, I don't understand what people's ideas of freedom are, that they think America has it in spades. Cause like we really just straight up don't have a lot of rights and affordances that many other countries guarantee. So I don't know. I think people, especially in like rural areas, like feel as if there's no one watching them, and so they're like, this is what freedom is and I'm not going to give that up. But like that's not the case. That's like not what we're talking about here. Like, that's not changing. Yeah, like, I mean, they've been sold a bill of lies. Hello, Desecration. Welcome, welcome. Am I too late? Not really. I'm probably not going to be on for much longer. I'm trying to actually limit myself with the coffee stream or the afternoon tea streams to make sure I've got time to tackle a few more tasks before the end of the day. So I'm probably going to hop off in a couple of minutes here, but still finishing my tea. Haven't totally finished it yet. Sold being the operative word. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's like you're subject to so many cultural norms and weird laws about what you can and can't do. Like, the fact that this country is so gung-ho about freedom, but then has such an authoritarian perspective on lawmaking is astonishing. Like, we are such an authoritarian state, and people don't think we are because I don't know why. Because rhetoric on TV, I guess. But, like, the fact that we have laws that state, like, you can't marry more than one person, the fuck is that? Why, what does the state have? Like, that's a purely, like, religious foundation rule. Why is the state enforcing that? Or, you can't, bathroom laws, right? And like all the shit that trans people are dealing with. The fact that that's even a discussion. The fact that there's any kind of rhetoric or lawmaking around who you can or cannot be is ridiculous. It's mind-boggling. And the fact that people want to back up rules around what you can be with laws, which inherently means violence. Laws are violence. They are threats of violence. Anything that is a law can ultimately result in you being killed by the state for not complying with the law. So, like, to encode a rule about what you can do with your life into law is to say, I am okay with the fact that if someone doesn't behave the way that I want them to behave, we can ultimately remove them from society or execute them. Because that's what's on the table in America. And it's just the fact that people don't, like, the fact that anyone would support any of that is just... The problem is that we've let people move the notion of what is necessary for public safety into such a gray, like such a far right territory that we've got things like bathroom bills where it's like we can't let people be transgender because it's a threat to public safety. Like, that's not the case, obviously, and yet that's where we are. So states that don't kill people don't have laws. It doesn't, like, every state kills people. Cops exist. Cops can kill and get away with it, no problem in this country. It doesn't, just because a state doesn't have execution laws, like a state has outlawed capital punishment, it doesn't mean that the state won't kill people. All you have to do is jaywalk in front of a cop, and they get mad at you, and you don't agree with the fact that they're mad at you, and you refuse to be detained, and they charge you with resisting arrest, and you continue to resist, and you can get killed. Oh, I mean, like, nation states. Got it. I mean, same thing, and jail. Laws are backed up by violence. Like, that's just a universal truth. If a state exists and a state enforces the law, the only way that you can ultimately enforce a law is by violence. And violence is not always literally, like, corporal harm, right? Like, you can have, like, economic violence is a thing. And restricting your rights, like being put in jail, that's still violence. Jail is violence. It is like the state in and of itself is a it is an organization who administers power by way of a consolidation of the allowance to commit violence against its own people. You're not allowed to commit violence against your neighbors, right? But the state can commit violence against you or your neighbors. And having that monopoly allows them to construct laws and enforce them with the threat of violence, right? Like the most, like in any country in the world, if you resist enough, you will ultimately be taken down with violence. Like if they need to call in the National Guard or whatever, they will. It doesn't usually go that far. Typically, you can get like taken, detained before then. But I would frame that as laws restrict freedoms under the threat of removing rights. Removing rights is violence. That's violence. Like that's violence. Like the removing of your rights is directly violence. Like I'm trying to make it clear that the word violence is broader than corporeal harm. Striking, for example, is economic violence. Seizing your assets is economic violence. Restricting you by putting you in jail is a strike against your rights. It's a restriction of your rights. That's violence. It's splitting hairs. We're agreeing past each other. I'm not disagreeing with you. My view of it is just I categorize all of that as just ultimately violence. Because like what happens if your rights are restricted and you disagree with that decision and you push back against it and try to exercise the rights that have been restricted from you, the state's going to come back and clap back pretty freaking hard. It doesn't really matter where you are. That said, there are states that don't. Agreeing past each other is a phrase I've never heard. I like that. I love that phrase. It happens a lot in leftist spaces. What was I gonna say? Oh, there are countries actually that have laws where if you escape from jail, they are not allowed to go get you again. Like you're free. I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm pretty sure I didn't just lie to you. Because it's some law against against your fundamental rights. And so like if you manage to escape prison, like you have regained your fundamental right to like roam free. Germany, and it's not that they don't get you. What happens instead? It isn't an additional charge. Okay, interesting. I think that there's a South American country. I don't think it's Mexico or Brazil. I forget where. Yeah, it's legal to break out of prison. Yeah, that's the case. I'm probably wrong about that. Like they can't go. I thought that I read somewhere that they couldn't go get you, but I'm not sure. Desecration says the only comparable law in the U.S. is double jeopardy. Yeah. Pretty, I guess so, yeah. But I mean, also in America, like they'll just throw the book at you. America is also off the deep end with prison sentences. Our prison sentences are way higher than the rest of the world. You get caught with a bag of weed on you, you go away for freaking life here. It's wild. If you're black, you go away for 10 life sentences. Yeah, we hand down truly wild sentences. Like theft can land you like 10 years in jail. 10 years in jail. Think about how long a freaking year is. Think about just 10 years of your life being taken away for one act that you commit. I think about where I was 10 years ago. I can't even imagine. And yeah, prison labor equals slave labor. Yeah, prisons in America are allowed to do slave labor. But like petty theft is just, it's so silly to punish someone with years of jail time for stealing like something unnecessary, you know, like something trivial, or food. You should not go to jail for stealing food. As a reminder, if you saw someone stealing food, no, you didn't. Most aren't even owned and operated. It's all corporate. Yeah, the fact that we have corporate jails, we have for-profit prisons in this country. It's just that everything about our justice system is unjust. It's really wild. Sorry to bring the vibes down into let's just be bummed out about our capitalist hellscape. I didn't mean to do that. The U.S. considers food to not be a human right. Yeah, the U.S. is like the only country that was voting against making food a human right. Consult the vibe cube. Blue. We're sticking with Blue this whole time. What the dog doing? I think he's still. Oh, he flopped. We have a dog update. He is now a flop. He has gone from cinnamon roll to flop in a powerful transition. He is now a bread loaf. Just so you're all aware. Overproofed. Aw. Did you overproof? Oh no, he's asleep. He is snoozing. Take care, Desecration. I am also probably heading out here. It's been lovely having an afternoon tea with y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying these afternoon tea streams. A little bit shorter, and that's on purpose. Trying to make sure that that I've got time to do a bunch of other stuff. I still got to finish prepping for tomorrow's stuff keeps happening, and still have some more things I would like to do before the end of the day. I'm also a little hungo, so I'm gonna go get something to eat. You all have an absolute wonderful rest of your day. As a reminder, my next long-form live stream is going to be Saturday. Starting at 5 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I'm going to be hanging out for a while, probably playing some games. Maybe some Palia, maybe some Starfield, maybe... We'll see. We'll see what I end up playing. And then I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, that is. So I will also see you on Monday in the afternoon. And we'll see if I end up streaming for a little bit tomorrow for another coffee stream. Stuff gonna happen tomorrow? How does he know? I mean, I gotta go check. That's the thing. I gotta go look to see if stuff is happening, and I'll find out. You all have an excellent rest of your day. I'm a peace out. Take care and be well.